Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our next guest is the Dominican superhero. So watch out, Marvel and DC. Born in Brooklyn and raised in the Bronx to Dominican immigrants, he's loved comics ever since watching the 1966 Batman TV show and 1978's Superman. All right, very specific on the year. And from acting, pro wrestling, and now comic storyteller, he's excited to share his worlds in Raden Komix with comics such as Assegai Program and the Dominican Diablo. Please welcome writer, creator, producer, and CEO of Raden Komix, Rade Ravello. Hello and welcome.
Thank you so much. Where am I looking at?
You're talking to me.
And I'll be talking to you?
Yeah.
All right, even better. That works. So,
Yeah.
then they take care of that
Yeah,
stuff.
they do.
I like that.
Yeah. So you can feel like, you're
Yeah,
we're at the table. I don't got no
that's
café
it.
for you, pero
I
tato,
would. I
I'm the
love
café
coffee.
con leche.
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
I love coffee. So.
Toma un poquito más, toma un poquito más. Toma.
There we go. I'm good now. I'm good.
Oh, this is wonderful. Okay,
Thank you.
I love that our community takes matters into their own hands, and I say this because not only are you designing these stories and these comics, but you're also presenting them. So
Yes.
So let's just talk about the dynamics, right?
Right, sure.
Of how you got from being a pro wrestler and into designing these comics.
Sure.
And presenting them, because those are all different dynamics.
Well, both things I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. I was big, comic books, cartoons, wrestling, all the stuff little boys like. But the wrestling, I started in about, I can't even remember the year, maybe 2007. And I'm fully retired because, as much as people like to say it's fake, it's not.
Right.
My spine hurts, my lower back hurts,
Right.
the knees are shot. So I was like, okay, time to steer into something else that I always wanted to do. So I wrote and produced my own comics. I started about in 2018, I started the process.
So you wrote them, are you the illustrator as well?
No, I'm the writer.
You're
but
the writer.
I did create, I'm an okay artist. I'm not comic book level good, but I can design characters. So every character here, I did design.
Right.
And then I would get an artist, and then they would professionally pull it out for me like this.
Right, but it's your storyline.
Yes.
Right,
yes,
so
yes.
like in other words, you're coming up with your own DC.
Yeah, I came up with, yes.
In your own Marvel
Yeah,
style.
absolutely,
Right,
yes,
because you're
yes.
Raden Komix.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, which is what I'm saying. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, they don't let you at the table, so you got to bring your own table, your own chair, and handle business, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and if you have to bring the chair and the table to the
Bring
bodega to sell them personally, you're going to do
you
that
gotta
too.
be out there, you know what I'm saying? They got the trucks outside, you make the maduros and everything, the salchichon. You make it happen, you know what I'm saying? The little tajin on it. Hey, it is what it is,
I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I got the visual.
You gotta go out there, man,
Which brings me to, what does your distribution look like?
Well, I mean, right now it's through the website, radencomics.com. I'm being helped by a comic book shop in Queens called Everyone Comics. So they're the ones that they get the order and then they send them out through there.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's what's working for me now as an independent publisher at the moment. But if anything, if any other companies want to come out and help me distribute nationally,
Right.
I'm more than welcome.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. That's why we're here, and that's why we're discussing it. Let's talk about the different, storylines, right? Because Assegai is its own story,
Yeah.
and Dominican Diablo is its own story. Although, from what I read, one seeps into the other.
Yes. It's all a connected universe, pretty much just like Marvel and DC do. So the characters are all in the same universe, same thing happens. So the Assegai Program, in the storyline, the doctors who worked in the Assegai Program, one of the doctors helped the Dominican Diablo to get his superpowers.
Right, to become a metahuman, right?
Yes,
Right,
exactly.
that's what they
That's
actually
what they
designed.
are.
The
Yes,
Assegai
yes,
Program
through
is
alien
metahumans.
DNA. Yes, exactly.
And they're all diverse
Okay.
humans,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right? They're all people of color.
All people of color, because I mean, come on now.
Right.
Come on now.
I know.
I mean,
But
but it's understandable. A lot of people get upset. Oh, I mean, like you think of Marvel and DC, those guys were Jewish, white
Right.
artists and writers, so
Right.
they're gonna write what they know.
Right.
I know,
Right.
colored people black, Dominican. He's half black, half Dominican. He's
Right.
100% Dominican.
Right.
This character is Mexican. Him and their brother and sister, so they're Japanese. And so in this case, from another world.
Right,
So
but it's people of color.
all people of color. It's about time, you know what I'm saying? So it's, we're out here.
Right.
So might as well be here too. You know?
Right. And not only that, you also honor, right? Because Assegai is associated with Asia, right?
Africa.
Africa.
The
Oh,
word,
okay.
the word is a spear or weapon.
Ah.
In an African. So it sounded pretty cool, and I was like, okay.
I like it.
I'll
I
work
like
with
it.
that.
Good. You just educated me. I like
Yeah.
that. I automatically Assegai.
A lot of people think
yeah.
that. Yes, no, but it's an African word, yeah, for spear or weapon, yes.
All right. So how many of these do you have in each storyline?
Well, right now, this is issue number 1, issue number 2 of
Mm-hmm.
the Assegai. It's a 9-issue. Number 3 will be out hopefully in January.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 9-issue storyline. Dominican Diablo, the full story is in issue number 1. I'll probably, once I'm kind of done with the Assegai program, I'll come back and do work more on Dominican Diablo.
All right. So we got 1 issue of Dominican Diablo.
Yes.
And we've got 2 of the Assegai program.
Yes.
And the 3rd one is being worked on.
Well, we come out next year,
All
January.
right. And so how
February next year.
many do you have in print?
These are the ones that are in print right now.
Right.
These are the ones in
Right.
circulation.
But how many copies?
Well, I mean, it all depends on orders. So we sold out. I mean, I did the
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a little more cafe
yeah,
right
get
there.
that money.
I like the way it sold it. Way
Get that
up.
money, You know, I don't see it. It goes right back to the artist,
right,
but
right.
down the line. Down the line.
Exactly. Yeah, the consistency.
Yes.
Consistency. Dale,
So
dale.
I sold out at the Dominican Day Parade. I bought about 500 issues, sold out. Thank God. And I've hit the comic book conventions. So when I created them, this came out 2019 January. And of course, you know what happened 2 months later. We got shut down,
Yeah.
and so that's when I had time to start working on Dominican Diablo. So so that kind of put a bump in the road, but now things are, back in circulation. Things are getting back to normal. Comic sales are going back up. Movies are, restaurants are packed again. Movie theaters working out again. So thank God everything is coming back to
So
fruition.
my next question has to do with culture, right? Are there any cultural references within the story, right? So when I think of Dominican Diablo, I think of that character. I don't know what they're called. In Puerto Rico, they're called vigilantes. I don't know what they're called in Dominican, that they always have the whip, like,
I think I know who you're
They
talking about, but I
present
forgot
themselves in Carnival.
Yes, I forgot what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
But they're like
Yes.
Diablitos. So I'm just wondering if like there's any cultural referencing.
Yes and no. So
Okay.
when I used to wrestle, I was known as the Dominican Diablo.
Ah.
So yeah, so I just since I retired there, I said,
Yeah.
I kind of want to keep it going.
Smart.
So I just made the kind. This is not me. This is.
I
don't.
You're not better human.
No, I didn't want to. I thought it was like a little corny to kind of do that. So I said, let me change his name, make him a whole separate thing. I didn't want to be like me in real life. I didn't want to get confused,
Yeah.
And let any ladies down or anything like that. No, but I'm in a relationship. I'm just kidding. But I don't want to get in trouble.
You in trouble. You in
Yeah,
trouble.
not ladies, lady. Uno. But so he's a separate thing. He's Rick Espinoza. Well, in this comic, it's very Dominican. It's very Spanglish. It goes back and
Nice.
forth. It takes place in Washington Heights, and very cultural, very Dominican based. This is more sci-fi. It's more broad.
Right.
The
Nice.
story is all over the place. It's New York. It's Arizona. It's space.
global.
It's a whole global thing. Yes,
Nice.
Yes.
And space too.
And space, yes, and beyond,
Yeah,
absolutely.
future.
Yes.
Yes.
AI, everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the world we're living in.
100%.
So where do you see yourself going with this? Because I'm really excited for you. I'm
Well,
excited to be sharing this with you all.
Man,
this is exciting stuff.
hopefully it goes the same way as since the big independent comics that came out in the 90s were like The Crow. Everybody knows The Crow with Brandon Lee. The Mask with Jim Carrey. The Ninja Turtles. They were all independent comics outside of the Marvel DC world, and they did well. They got movies, video games, cartoons, and that's what I would like with this.
Right. Actually, we're going to show some images, and perhaps you can, I guess, talk us through it and maybe
Sure,
narrate a
sure.
little bit.
Maybe
So,
we can-
I'm assuming this is Dominican Diablo?
This is Dominican Diablo. This is the final battle where he fights the villain Alacran.
Okay.
Scorpion in Spanish. And the big final fight is in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, look at that.
So yeah,
Yes.
this is the club scene where he fights the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Where he finally gets revenge, finds out who's responsible for his brother's death, and he goes to town. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And next?
This is where he gets severely beaten, and in this frame over here, he gets really bad. He gets hurt. He's an MMA up and coming fighter in the MMA world, and he gets
Right, we forgot to mention he's an MMA
He's
fighter.
an MMA fighter. Yes, so
And becomes superhuman on top of that.
Yes,
Ouch.
yes.
Yes.
So this is where he gets hurt really bad, and then the doctor comes to give him the part of the Assegai Program project to give him the superpowers.
Okay, so we kind of showed it out of sequence.
A little bit. This is the Assegai Program. This is issue number 1. And this is the character Freddie Foster, also known as Faith, and he's on a mission to like beat up these human traffickers and rescue a politician's daughter who was captured in the process.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah. This political too.
It goes all over. It's
And
kinda,
social, no?
Yeah, it gets crazy.
Right.
As the story gets deeper, Israel's involved. You know, Israel's a big thing right now in the news.
Ay.
And then aliens are involved. You know, aliens is a big thing too now.
Right.
So it's kind of like perfect timing, kind of.
Right.
You know.
Right.
For it.
Right. To tell the story from our perspective.
Yes, from our
That's the important factor.
Absolutely.
Is that it's a cultural, urban
Yes.
flavored story style comics that really incorporates even the language of Spanglish.
Everything. We got it all. It's got everything. Absolutely. It's got, you know, if you don't know Spanish, you're going to learn it reading this.
Nice.
And if you don't know about world events, current events, well, then you'll learn it in the Assegai Program.
Bravo, and thank you for bringing it here.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Rade Ravello, writer, creator, producer, and CEO of Raden Komix. Once again, we were talking about the Assegai Program comics and the Dominican Diablo comics. They are all available online, and if you're interested in getting your comics and or learning more, you can visit RadenKomix.com, and comics is spelled Komix, so it's RadenKomix.com. All right, stay tuned. There's more open when we return.